Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Awakened Souls podcast. I'm your host, Devin Brown, a Kundalini activator, spiritual guide, mentor, and hopefully just a great source of entertainment for you. Let's get ready to dive in. Hello, everyone, and happy Monday once again. So last week was part 2 of an episode about spiritual gifts. So the first part was 2 weeks ago on what are the spiritual giftings, what those look like, etc. And then last week was how to access those spiritual gifts and how to create an environment kind of within ourselves, both physically and tangibly on a environmental level and on a inner level, where it will not only access the spiritual gifts, but allow us growth in the spiritual gifts. So this week, we're actually talking about how do we let go of habits and fear. This kind of plays back into the episode we released on the 29th with imposter syndrome. But a big portion of this too is that there are so many of us that hold ourselves back because we are afraid. Maybe we're afraid of change. Maybe we're afraid of being wrong. Maybe we are afraid of repercussions. Maybe we're afraid because of conditioning and our fear is actually invalid, but yet that child inside of us says, no, I can't do this. I can't act like this. I know for myself, I was very reactive. I was very codependent. If somebody had a bad mood, bad energy, etc., I was always walking on eggshells and felt like it was my responsibility to fix that. And part of that is, just from my own childhood experiences and my own trauma, which I have since worked through. But habits are things that are kind of out of our control. Habits are things that, and when I say out of our control, I don't mean like you can't form a new habit. That is not what I mean at all. So, because a lot of times people think that a habit is too hard to change. But a habit, by definition, is a settled or regular tendency to practice something that is hard to give up. Like, that is why it is called a habit. There's a lot of habits that can be beneficial. There's a lot of habits that can be negative, but a lot of fear-induced habits are things that are negative and that are not good. So how do we let go of those? A big portion of that is by giving yourself permission to fail, giving yourself permission to not be perfect, giving yourself permission to make changes. And then there's the counter side of that. Because some people, your habits are negative, and some people it is a way that causes more of a detrimental reaction to your growth than you would actually want it to be. And for you, I would actually say that to break your habit, it's going to be to make different choices that are harder, choices that put you out of your comfort zone, choices that face your fear head on. Fear is not a bad thing, because without fear, there would be no bravery. Without fear, there would be nothing inside of us that would allow us space to be different, if that makes sense. Like, we are able to embrace fear. We are able to embrace the benefit of habits, because when you get yourself into a healthy habit, you don't even have to think about doing what's good for you because it's a habit. Like, habits can be a good thing. Fear can be a good thing. Fear can be a motivator. Fear can be something that teaches us lessons. Like, fear is not a bad thing, just as habits aren't a bad thing. So how do we let go of habits and fear? It's by recognizing the power of them and making them a tool instead of something that tears us down or something that would be negative towards us. One of the things we can do for this is by regaining trust within ourselves. A habit is formed after 30 days. Sometimes the best things for us are so hard to maintain for 30 days. So I would challenge you to just focus on 3 days at a time. Anyone can do anything, and I truly believe that, for 3 days. Like there's some people that have to have certain medical procedures and so forth. They're not allowed to eat for 3 days, 72 hours, no food. I have done fasting for 72 hours before. Like 3 days is a good number, 72 hours. Anyone can do anything for 72 hours. You can go without sleep and be okay for 72 hours. You can go, I mean, don't do this, but like you are not going to die as long as you are of a healthy state without water or nourishment for 3 days. After that, we'll talk. You know what I mean? But like you can begin in little bitty segments of creating healthy habits and changing the way you show up in your negative habits by giving yourself little 3 days at a time. And when you mess up, or if you mess up, let's say that, let's say that. But I mean, truly, you need to show yourself grace for the times that we mess up and the times that we fall into reactivity instead of responses. So we let go of habits and fear by recognizing them as a tool and then taking the steps to make those tools usable for the life that we want to live. And I know that kind of sounds like, well, that you're not giving me the answers, but that's because every single person, each and every one of you, your answer is going to be different. The way that you need to reform your habit, the way that you need to reform what it is that you're doing and the approach that you're taking is going to be different for every single one of you. All of us have different habits. All of us have different fears. All of us have different negative situations that we have to face and that we have to go forward on. But at the same time, we are able to still access the idea that this is a tool. This is what I need to change. This is how I need to change it. I know for myself, when I do juicing or I do a body cleanse, a lot of the times the max I can really go is 3 days. Mainly because like I don't really enjoy it. But after that 3-day mark, once I get there, I'm like, okay, I could do this for a few more days. And sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Depends on how much I want food. Like we are able to change and grow things 3 days at a time. But it's a matter of after that, okay, I did my 3 days. Are you going to then push it another 3 days, or are you going to go back to what you were doing before? It's recognizing the reason and the why behind why you want to turn this situation into a tool. Why do you want to have this or let go of this fear? Recognizing your why is just as important as recognizing the steps you need in order to change it. So when you recognize your why, it gives you motivation. When you recognize your why, it allows you to get to a point where you are going to move forward. So let's say that you have something you want to do, but you are so scared. You're scared of failing. You're scared of maybe not being good enough. You're scared of being in front of people. You're scared of all of this. Okay, well then why do you want to do it? Well, I don't want to do it. Then don't do it. Well, it'll be healthy for me. Okay, but that's your why. Why do you want to do it? It's because it'll be healthy for you. Or, well, I'll make a lot of money. Okay, well, that's your why. Like, you need to find your why and then find 3 days worth of habit changing, fear releasing decisions to get you into a place of self-confidence, where then you can add another 3 days. You can add another 3 days. Like I said, it takes 30 days to make a habit, but I'm not asking you for 30 days in total. Like I think when we look at 30 days, that's way too much. There's so many people who start that whole 30 or the 30 cleanse or 30 days fasting or 30, detox or blah, 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 whatever it is. And they end up failing. They don't give in. But part of that is because 30 days is a lot. I mean, that's a lot to look at and be like, okay, well, I already messed up for 1 day, so I can't do that. Well, 3 days, you cannot mess up for 3 days. And if you do mess up, sit and ask yourself why. Was it because you really didn't want it? Or are you self-sabotaging? And if you're self-sabotaging, get into the reason why. It's all about the why. Why are you self-sabotaging? Why do you want this? Why? When you ask yourself the whys, you're automatically going to bring yourself to a place that gives you a blueprint on where to go from there. And for those of you who are like, well, I know what I want, but I have no idea how to get there. I'm so stuck in this habit and I just don't understand. Like maybe I can't afford what I need. Maybe this, that, and the other. Well, I'm going to go back to an episode that I posted on April 22nd. It was a dream episode and about asking our guides for direction in our dreams. If you ask, you are going to get the answers because 1, your highest self is always rooting for you. 2, your guides are always rooting for you. And 3, most of the time the answers are within yourself already. So get to the root of why. Why am I wanting this? Why do I do this? Why am I behaving this way? Why do I react this way? Why do I eat this way? Why can't I get myself at the gym? Why does my back hurt? Why? Ask yourself the why, and then change your habit into the tool you need it to be. Let go of your fear and embrace fear as a challenge to be brave, as a challenge to be motivated, as a challenge to show yourself love and grace. And I can tell you that fear does eventually go away, especially the more you face something, it goes away. Like I have a horse, for those of you who didn't know that, she's 1,500 pounds. When I first got her, she wasn't very trained. Riding her was scary. It was scary because like she just, would fight me, like wouldn't listen. And if she bucks me off, I'm going to get hurt. Like, which thankfully she's never bucked me off, but like I have a very good relationship with my horse now, and I am not afraid of her. But it took me getting over the idea of fear and learning new habits. Like, okay, well, when she does this, it's because of this. And when I do this, she responds this way. It's learning about each other. It's learning through the fear, the reason behind why it's there. When you let go of the idea that you can't change, you can become whatever you want. You can become who you want. You can be a different person tomorrow. I have talked about this all the time. One of the things that I love doing is deciding, okay, today I am going to be the person that I want my highest self to be. That's it. Today I'm going to be the person that I want my highest self to be. Sounds easy. Sounds simple, right? Like, well, sometimes it's not. Sometimes you need to give yourself 3 days. Like, okay, just get through 3 days. Just get through 3 days. Like, think of it like the last day of work before your vacation is taking place. Like, just get through the 3 days. Just get there. You got this. You can do it. Like, and sometimes that's what it is. Sometimes it is a matter of motivating ourselves in the smallest way possible and in the smallest goal-oriented time frame so that you can become and you can move forward into where you want to be and into who you want to be. And I know I'm making it sound easy. I recognize that. I know sometimes it's easier said than done, but sit with yourself, look at your life and see what habits you know are not good for you and what you need to let go of. And for some of you, it might actually be an addiction and not necessarily a habit. But if it's an addiction, well, why is that addiction there? Well, it just helps me feel relaxed. Okay. Why are you not feeling relaxed? What is taking place in your life that makes you feel like you need to reach for a coping mechanism? When you get to the root of the why, that habit is going to give you answers of power. That habit is a tool to point you in a right direction for raising your vibration, for raising your life, for moving forward into a beautiful, tangible way. And it is going to be one of the best gifts you have ever given to yourself. And I cannot stress that enough. Like, beautiful, beautiful gift. A habit can be a gift. Fear can be a gift. Look at them both as a tool. Look at them both as a way to move forward in something that is going to bring you to your highest self, to a beautiful place of manifestation, to a beautiful place of understanding. And just know that everything is working out for your good. Everything. Always. It's always working out for your good. Always. I hope this episode resonated with you. I hope that you guys are enjoying these podcast episodes as much as I enjoy producing them. If you'd like to support my episodes and keep it ad-free or just want to show your support, head over to the link in my bio. I do a $3 a month sponsorships, no commitment, month to month. You could even give a one-time donation if you wanted to. But either way, I am just so honored to facilitate this work with you. I hope this speaks to you. I am also welcoming as many more people who want to join into our Quantum Circle as possible. We have a wonderful group of people in there. We do tarot card readings and channeled message videos every single Monday to let you know what the guides are saying to focus on for the week. Sometimes we get specific messages that resonate with specific people. We also do a energy updates throughout the month. You get special access to special content, and then access to the library of energetic activations that will help move you forward into a place of healing, into a place of tranquility, and into a place of homeostasis that will help you access your spiritual gifts, let go of habits and fear, and just continue to move forward into a beautiful place of healing. As always, I hope you guys have a happy Monday, and we will talk again soon.